Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome. Yo! Welcome to episode 2 of Games Cage Talks, my new interview series where I just shoot the shit with all my content creator buddies all over the internet. Episode 1 you guys really loved. It was Mr. Rogers Base, had some good talks in there. And for episode 2, I thought I would bring on my homie, Mr. Heavenly Controller.
Wait, I'm gonna hit you with an interview question.
Oh, you get
Cage? What is
this? What does it come from?
Yeah, like is it a cage of games?
Listen, man, there's a lot of people ask you this. So I actually, the origin of it is like there's a restaurant here in Montreal called Casual Spore. And I was in a bus one day trying to figure out my content name. And I saw that name, Casual Spore. I put games in front of it. That's all it is. There's nothing special to it.
But I didn't hear cage in any of that.
Yeah, it says Cage O Spore. Like that's what the restaurant's called.
Oh.
So I just took the cage for it because I used to go there a lot. Like I used to go there with friends so much just to like watch random sports or just hang out. So like I was like, let me just games. I was like cage of games, and then I was just like games cage. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, that's a better backstory than mine. It was just like
What's yours?
I'm just an amazing gamer.
Oh,
so
you
heavily.
Oh my god, dude. By the way, you know today I found out your name is Anthony.
Oh yeah. Today you found this out.
Yeah, because I went to because I want to just put a GIF when I put out that tweet, and then I just saw it referenced me to a link where you said, "My name is Anthony." Not many people know that, and I was like, I didn't know that either.
Well, that must have been an old video because now everyone. Well, I mean, clearly not everyone, but
Clearly
like,
not everyone. No.
a lot of my fans just call me Anthony.
They call you
sometimes.
Anthony.
It's like I think it's like knowing PewDiePie's name. Like it's like maybe not everybody knows, but like if someone watches me enough, then they probably know,
exactly, bro. But you know what's there's two things that are crazy, right? In like Evo last year was like almost a year now. It's been I've known you almost a year now.
Yeah, man, Evo is like that. It's so crazy. This whole year's gone by really fast.
Yeah,
like, that felt like yesterday, but like yeah,
it's
it was
crazy.
almost like they're about to jump into the next Evo now. So
yeah, and here we are with the online one. It's wild shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is like our first time actually like talking on a call together, which is crazy.
Really?
Yeah, we've never been on a fucking call together.
That's weird because I talk to you all the time.
No, yeah, we talk on Twitter all the time, so it sounds like it. But like we've just been talking on Twitterverse. We haven't actually voice chatted.
The Twitterverse.
Twitterverse. Exactly. That's what I call the Twitterverse, bro. That's what it is. I'm always there. I think it's because I reply to you with videos and shit, so it probably feels like we've talked.
Oh, you do sometimes, yeah.
Exactly.
you post like the most videos. Honestly,
I
I should take a page out of your book because when I tweet sometimes and people don't know how I'm saying something, they take it the wrong way.
Exactly.
So sometimes I'm just like, maybe post a video.
Exactly.
Like,
that's like my wave all the time.
No, another thing that I have to while I'm talking to you, commend you on is that this is something that I don't know. I've never been put in this predicament, so I don't know. But the thing that I see from you that even I'm like I don't have is like the level of engagement. I feel like you did.
Right.
I just be seeing random people just like making memes of you and stuff, all these things. I just remember that time where you kept like for whatever reason, I don't know how people were finessing this, constantly taking your Twitter down. And then you would remake it and get all your followers back.
Yes, sir. That was my biggest flex that one time.
So I was like, wow, I've literally never seen this happen before.
Bro, that's been a whole wave trying to get those people back in. Like that was like I was blown away because there was one night I got suspended and then like my friend's like, by the way, a hashtag of you is trending worldwide. And I was like, what? And it was like hashtag bring back Fidel. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I came back the next day and it was like amazing. Like people are fucking cool. Obviously there's a ton of shit people.
Who has the authority to take your shit down? Because that was happening a lot. Like,
oh yeah. That was like.
I'm like, man, I don't know if I would use that. Well, I definitely would if I could take down people that quickly. I would
for sure. Bro, I went down 3 times, I think.
Just like, damn. Normally when I hear about my friends pissing off somebody with like a lot of like power, it's usually like one of like a girl, like some dude keeps banning them on Instagram or banning them on YouTube or some shit. I'm just like, damn, like it's that whole Boondocks thing.
Oh,
damn,
damn, yo.
You're gonna make niggas that mad.
But yeah, man, it's like, the internet can be like a beautiful and horrible place both at the same time. It's crazy shit.
I mean, especially with Twitter, I have like a love-hate relationship with Twitter. That place is the wild west.
Oh,
I just come to like know for what it is.
Well, I think it's like you just gotta like, it's that easy thing you just gotta know right away. Like, people are just gonna not understand tone, so they're just gonna like like, it's like if they heard your voice or my voice when we say anything, like it's so much different than like if like you post something and everyone's like, what the fuck are you saying?
Especially since like I've talked about this on my own streams. I will jump between completely being sarcastic to being completely serious. And admittedly, you can't really like, unless you maybe know me, but even then it's hard to be able to tell when I'm being serious and when I'm memeing. And I change between the two so frequently. But I like to think, and clearly, of course, like common sense isn't common. I'd like to think that you can tell. Like I don't make it super obvious, but I feel like, actually, you know what? Here's a perfect analogy that I use in one of my streams. Is that normally when I'm talking, like, let's say on my platforms, in most cases, like if I'm talking on YouTube, it's typically me and my fan base and maybe a few other people who are coming in. But like I treat every platform the way I treat YouTube, in the sense that I'm like, even though I don't own this entire website, on my channel, this is my section of the site that I own, right?
Yes, sir.
But on Twitter, there's so much overlap to where people treat the entire website as its own public space. Yeah. So it's just like, to them, I'm not on my own account talking how I want to talk, but I'm on everyone's shared space talking all my shit. Exactly, yeah. So like, people are like, oh, what is it? I'm like, why are you so, like, this is, if you don't like it, this is my
Why
Twitter.
Are you here? Like, yeah.
But then I do understand, though, this is why a lot of people be blocking me, and I give people shit for blocking me, but I also kind of understand in the sense that Twitter is the biggest platform where you are constantly exposed to people who you don't follow. Yeah. Like in YouTube, for example, if you get recommended somebody's videos that you don't want to watch, if you just don't click on the recommendation, or if you just scroll past or whatever, typically you won't see. YouTube does a good job of only exposing you to the stuff that you want to see, and you kind of live in this like little bubble that's sort of engineered towards your interests. But on Twitter, especially if you're within the same community, and I'm a certain size, you're just gonna see me. Like exactly. Yeah. The shit that I say, and if you don't know me, you don't know how it's being received. So that's why Twitter is the place where you can just be minding your own business, talking to your own community, and then someone out of nowhere be like, "Hey, fuck you," and you're like, "Fuck you, who are you?
Fuck you, where'd you come from, bro?" Exactly, it happens all the time. Be like, someone's like, it's like some people will just like say like, they'll come at me and I'm like, bro, they'll be like, some guy the other day DM'd me asking me to block him, and I was like, bro, do it yourself. What? Oh my, they just want that badge that like I blocked him. That's why I love the mute button, bro. Like I just love the mute button because like they can scream into the Eververse, because a lot of people, when you block them, they use that as like that badge of honor of like, yes, I got blocked, bro. Yeah. Oh my god.
It's funny, like I have this meme that I saved that it's like have you seen like the Disney Robin Hood where he's like a fucking fox and shit? Yeah. And he's like a beggar, and he's just like trying to be like ask for money, and it was like a screenshot for the blocked.
Oh my god.
It's like so sad in the replies when someone quote replies a tweet. And it's so funny though, because like this happens probably like, if not one every day, at least once a week, where like I'm blocked by some person. I don't like who, like it's that whole Thanos thing. Yeah. I don't even know who you are. I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Who this?
Person I've never interacted with before. And I'm just like, I understand, for better or worse, I'm a polarizing figure. I have strong opinions and it rubs some people the wrong way. So
well, yeah, I mean that's the thing about you, and that I super respect, and you're very vocal about, and like, which I'm a big proponent of like voicing, like being cool with your opinion, right? Like that's something I see you voice a lot, and something I believe in, of like you should be able to like being able to have a conversation. Like, bro, me and like, it's like if you and me dislike something and we debate it, it doesn't have to be like, you're a fucking piece of shit, I hate you. Like bro, I would hate all my friends if I fucking like, if we had all our debates and I hated them after. It's like, that's like a big thing that you push, I see.
I mean, also that's largely just the internet. I feel like most cases, like have stated this too, is just like I've never had a legit, well, maybe like, but they're always very brief. But typically, if I have a toxic conversation, it's with someone who I don't know. Yeah, like they don't know me. And then typically, if a conversation even gears even remotely towards toxicity, I don't even engage any further, anyways. Exactly. So, but like it's a little bit harder. But it's like oh man, this is crazy. This is like a skill set that I've even seen some of the biggest creators not get good at. Right. And that is how to engage with, like, it's crazy. Like, On the internet, it's like not like in real life. It's like everybody's a badass online, right? So like you sort of like the biggest skill set, and honestly sometimes, and the crazy part is though, and sometimes in some cases it doesn't work, but I'm like going on like fucking misdirect tangent here, but the biggest skill set that you can have, and it sounds simple, is not responding to shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
Just like, sometimes it's like you're just like even sometimes
so
I will sometimes tweet something, and the most irritating instances is like it's mainly on Twitter, and I realize if I just stayed off of Twitter this wouldn't happen, but fuck you, I want to do what I want.
Yes,
but where like someone will say something, and I see this happen to like fucking companies, and it's just like I know this is hard for me to figure out, so I know some random employee running restaurants Twitter is like honestly, I have like S tier level PR training just from my own experience, but like for like the average person, they probably have no idea. Like when you see these apology videos and shit, like honestly, honestly, like it's like if hey, you want PR, come to me. I mean, I don't do everything perfectly myself, but you know, I've had to go through some bumps in the road to learn and how to like navigate that shit. But it's just so funny how so many people just don't know. But like, especially when you're bigger, what I notice happen, and this happens the most on Twitter, is somebody will say something about you, and it's something that might not even be true, and so you're like, all right, I'm not going to engage in this because I don't want to give any attention to this. But sometimes it'll get attention without your interaction, and then now you have an entire section of the internet coming after you over some bullshit, and then what the hardest part is, it comes down to, okay, now do I respond to this or do I ignore it? And so like, for example, in some cases, like in like the IDub situation, he tried to at first not respond, and then he was just like, all right, this isn't gonna go ahead. I have to respond. And that's tricky because, you know, not responding, as hard as it is to do, it's when done, it's easy. It's just like, okay, you don't respond and that's it. But then when you're forced to respond when something is given enough attention, now that becomes the difficult part. But what my honest strategy about towards that is just, like, for better or worse, I always try to stay, like we were talking about, true to myself and my opinions and just being honest. And so as long as I stick to that, like, it's like you don't have to worry about tripping over your words so long as you're being genuine and consistent with them. And so I will say, one of the things I take pride in is, you know, in all the instances where I rubbed someone the wrong way, or when I, like, you know, someone doesn't like me, they were genuine things that I felt that I had said, though. So like, if I ever come down to a point where I'm pushed into a corner and forced to address it, there's going to be reputable context to sort of justify anything that I've done or said, you know? So like I can back that up. But if I said some bullshit and like it was me, like, and it was funny too, is because sometimes people will bullshit to sort of save their ass, to cover their ass. But what happens is that, especially on the internet, everything is written in stone, not pen, not pencil, true. Right? So what's going to happen is that, like, if you are inconsistent at any point, eventually it will be used against you. So that's like, a good point. The best thing you can do is to just be consistent, you know, no matter what, for better or worse, because whatever repercussions you'll face in the short term, in the long run, you know, like, if you're a genuine person, any false rumors or shit that's said about you will always eventually fade away.
Oh, exactly.
Underneath the factual information, the credible evidence, you know. So
I mean, that's exactly, like, if you're a chill person and people know that, those people will outweigh the shitty people out there. But like, here's the thing for you though, right? So like, let's say average Joe, right, doesn't know who you are, what you do. What would you like describe yourself? Like, what would you say is your content role on the internet?
Oh man, that's an interesting question. I don't know if I've ever thought about that. Because to me, I'm just fucking me.
You're just doing your thing.
But I don't know. I'm just somebody. Gosh, wow. See, for someone who likes to fucking give myself titles, I find that hard to.
You can't do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just like somebody who is just, because I don't even feel like my interests are like confined to a specific genre necessarily. I definitely emphasize whatever is like trending during the time, which in this current period, it's anime and stuff. It's actually funny because people want to think, which, I mean, it's like understandable and why, like, oh, I'm the guy who just like reacts to anime, but like, I didn't do that when I started out, and I won't be doing that when I finish out either. But like,
what'd you do when you started?
Wait, what?
What'd you do when you started? Like, what was the early?
When I started, the Well, the first videos, actually, when I started, I was all over the place. I was doing like, I was reviewing like fucking like TV shows, and I was playing video games and reviewing manga and basically everything. I was doing like story time videos. I was basically doing every video under the sun. But then I started to sort of narrow in on specific niche as I saw what did the best, and for the sake of growth, you need to do.
Yeah, for sure. That's what Roger was saying on episode 1 of like finding a niche and like using that.
Roger. Yeah. So like the first thing I really started to do was make mods off of like the Naruto Storm games.
Oh really?
And so so the first one was Naruto Storm Revolution, because like at the time I was making videos on it, and I was making videos and I was getting like less than 1,000 views per video. I was getting like maybe like 50. If I got actually less, I was getting like less than 500 at the time. It was like if I got 500 views on the video, I was like, oh shit! Like I still remember this. This was like in 2012 or something. I got a video. It was I was reviewing Might Guy. I don't know if it was his 8 Gates or not, but it was like Might Guy in the manga, and he was like during the war arc. I think it was using his 8 Gates, or it was, I don't know if it was the 8 Gates, but it was Might Guy doing something, and it got 500 views. And I was like, oh shit, it's got 500 views. And that was when I really started reviewing Naruto Shippuden manga chapters, because like they were all getting like hundreds of views, which was a lot for me at the time. And then I made this top 7 Naruto Storm Revolution mod video in 2015, and it got like 100,000 views. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's like the craziest.
Yeah, so after that, I was just like, I'm just gonna like, and I was pushed back, like I was fighting against it for a while. Is that like I was making like one a month for like honestly a couple of years, I think, and that was the main video that people came to my channel to watch. But I didn't want to make too many of them, because at the same time, at the end of the day, even then, you know, I wanted my content to be like diverse. I didn't want it to be one thing. I didn't want to put myself in a box. And so it was as much as I saw the benefits from like those videos, I also saw the dangers that those came with, which was crazy, because like even then, you know, I had this foresight of like, I don't want my channel to just be completely overwhelmed for one thing, but I was still making them once a month. And then eventually, and honestly, and I mean, I talk about this all the time. One of the biggest contributors to my entire YouTube career and my success, honestly, is due to Afro, because
Afro Senji,
because I don't know if it was when Storm 4 came out or whatever, but I think I met Afro in it was either 2015 or 2016, and I think I first like met him on, I think I met him online in 2015, and then I met him at Anime Expo 2016.
Right.
And like at the time when I met him online or found out about him and stuff, we both had around 15,000 subscribers, and we were both making similar content. So he was like my like YouTube rival or whatever, right?
Right.
And then, but at the time I was really like grinding out and making a lot of, it's like almost like our roles like a reverse. See, it's funny because a lot of people, they see things in the micro, not in the macro. Like even like though Afro is like way ahead of me right now, I look at it as like, we're always going to like, I still see us equal in the sense that like I have a full intending on him passing him up again. Actually, I've never passed him up, but I have full intention of catching up again. And then I'm sure that at one point, because just as I watched him throughout the years, and if I pass him up, he'll probably pass me back up. But I like that because like there's definitely been times where I feel like I reached like a ceiling in terms of my growth or what like I can do.
Right.
And then like Afro will keep like, you know, overperforming and like keeping me on my toes of like, okay, I can't fall behind or whatever too far. But at the time when I like caught up to him, I was like really grinding out content. He wasn't really making videos like that. So like I've never been able to keep up with him where we were both consistent, but also I don't know if we've both been consistent at the same time.
Right.
He's definitely been more consistent lately than I have. But then I remember, so like he would just upload every once in a while. But then when Storm 4 came out, he started making videos and just getting like millions of views on all of his Storm 4 videos. And then his channel got to like 300,000 subscribers in like 6 months or something. Crazy. From like the 15,000 that he was at. And one of the things that he did that contradicted a previous opinion that I had was that he was able to make a lot of videos on one thing, and then he was able to then pivot to another video that was completely separate from that main thing that he had built his content on, and still get a lot of views. And of course, he wasn't getting the millions of views that he got from the Storm 4 videos, but he was still like, if he was getting 40,000 views on a vlog, that was still way more than he would have gotten had he not done the Storm 4 videos in the first place.
Right.
And to this day, I still take what I learned from watching him do that and I apply it to everything.
Mhm.
And so I've coined a term for it. I call it the panning for gold method. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is
Go for it. What's it at?
This is probably it's funny. This is my crown achievement of like methods of like building on social media in any way place.
That's
and
good
it's something
advice for
that
me.
even though I discovered it, Afro is actually the one who did it.
Okay.
Even, I don't even think he realized it. So yeah, so that's why I'm always gonna be forever indebted to him, because I honestly feel like even though it was unintentional, you know, and I have to give myself some credit, you know, I was just very good at like paying attention to these trends, and I'm sure it was the first time that it's happened, but it was the first time where I saw it like in such close proximity, you know. And also I even remember in 2016 at Anime Expo, I was like, damn, like I saw how much Afro had grown. And I was just like, that'd be really dope if I got to that size. And he was like getting recognized by people at the con and stuff. And like Afro, I remember back then, he's like, oh, you'll get there. Like he had like the utmost confidence. Like, oh yeah, you'll figure it out. Like he just. And so like it's just crazy because like at the time he had more on it. I feel like had more faith in my potential than I did. And like
that's usually how it is, right? Like someone else will see something in you that you like. I've had plenty of people just be like, you'll be good, Fidel. Like you'll be, and it's like you always have that.
Now, I was just talking about that on stream today. I was like, Roger will say that I'm going to do something that I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And then Roger will be like, yeah, you will. And then I'll do it. And I'm like, oh my God, Roger, you were right. And then Roger will be like, I know. But yeah, so so basically what it is and now granted you have to, it's like almost like it's a slippery slope though. You have to do it in a specific way. So the panning for gold, like you know like what panning for gold is, right? Like
give me the rundown.
Okay, so like during the gold rush in California and whatnot, you know, people would, the way they would pan for gold is they would get like a pan and they would scoop up a lot of dirt out of like a creek or something, and they would shimmy it out, and like the gold pieces were bigger than the dirt pieces,
right?
So the dirt would fall through, and the gold would be all that was remaining, and then you would filter down to the gold, and then you throw it in your bag until you have just the gold, and then you take that home with you, right?
Yeah.
So, you're not going to just, it's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
You're not going to sit there and sift through dirt to find the gold pieces. You need to scoop up the dirt and then shift it out to get the gold pieces. So the way that relates to like what I, like my philosophy on content, this applies to anything. This applies to like Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere, is you find a niche, you find a fan base that already exists. You know, you find a market that you can tap into that already has traffic, and you make content on that, and you're going to bring in a large amount of people who are looking for that specific type of content, and that's the dirt. But within that pile of dirt that you scooped up, there's gold pieces, and those gold pieces are fans that will watch you do anything, that are going to be engaged. Yeah. But the thing is that you're not going to, I mean, you can do it, and it's honestly, it's like one of those things to where there's pros and cons. If you try to just build up an engaged audience and ignore trying to like prioritize growth at all, your fans are probably going to be even more engaged. But the thing is that it's like a higher percentage will be engaged, but you'll actually have less engaged fans. Right. So like if you spend 10 years getting 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, then there's a chance that 80% of those people are really engaged, and so then you have 8,000 really engaged fans. Now if you spend 10 years getting 1 million, and then 20% of them are actually engaged, then you actually have more, because now you have, even though you prioritized growth over engagement, you now have 200,000 diehard engaged fans. 8,000 you would have had, so you still have way more. So it's a similar philosophy in terms of like making just like a video, like, so like for me, I'll make a video that I know people want to see, right? Like react to my hero or whatever, and then that'll get a bunch of views. And for some people, it's like there's a floor and there's a ceiling when it comes to your views, right? Right. There's the ceiling is the most views that you can get, and the floor is the least amount you can get. So a lot of people, they and this happens not just on YouTube, this happens on Instagram. Like I have to tell some of these, like, so like I'm friends with a lot of cosplayers, right? And I like consult them a lot of times on what they need to do. And a lot of times they put so much stock in the most likes they got in a picture, and they try to get that every single time. And they try to engineer their entire platform around making the content, and they're constantly chasing increasing their ceiling when you need to increase your floor, but you don't want to neglect the ceiling altogether. You need to interchange between the two. Interesting. So like you just make, because the thing is about the non-engaged bigger number is that while it is pretty and it makes you more money, it's inconsistent.
Right.
It will go away eventually. And the floor is what will always be there, that will stand the testament of time. And there's going to be peaks and valleys. There's going to be moments where you just don't get as many views as you did before. So you want to have that floor to fall back on, that insurance. Like, honestly, the peak for me that I had in my YouTube career, like I've yet to pass it up. And this was years ago. But it's fine, because that was not my floor. That was my ceiling. My floor has increased. Like, my average views on a video, because back then I would make if I made a video on literally nothing, it would get like, I could get a video as like with less than 10,000. I could go between getting a video with 10,000 views and a video with 1 million views in the same month, right? And that's not consistent. Like, that's not emblematic of my actual audience,
right?
You know, that those less than 10,000 views was really my actual engaged following. And so even though like those millions of views were nice, you know, what impressed me was how many views I could get away with, not how many that I could
how
just,
many
like,
you can keep in.
Yeah, that I could keep, that I could retain. So like now I think that it's like which it hasn't gone up that much, but like it's still got, but it's still considerable amount in the sense that like I would say my floor now is like 40,000. Like I could probably get at least 40,000 views no matter what I make a video on, right? And the thing is, though, I know some channels that have millions of subscribers that have died off, and they get less than 40,000 views. So honestly, I take pride in that. It's that no matter what, so long as I can at least retain that baseline. Like, it's funny because it's hard to see it because people look at the wrong numbers in terms of like people be like, okay, well, you only have X amount of followers on this platform, but like my floor is already higher than like 90% of like people on the internet, and that even yours, even yours,
sure.
That's one of the reasons why, you know, like people with millions of followers and like that doesn't impress me. What impresses me is someone who can get their Twitter deleted and then get 10,000 followers back in less than 24 hours. You know what I mean? Like, those people are ride or dies, you know, like that's never going anywhere. Like, I was actually just joking about this, about fucking designer, the guy who did the like,
the panda?
How he has like, he's verified with 1.5 million followers on Twitter, and he gets like less than like 100 likes on some of his tweets. Oh my God. And shit.
That's horrible.
He literally debuted a music video and he tweeted it out, and he tweeted out a whole month ago. That tweet has 30 likes and 2 replies.
Oh my God.
It's like, oh my God, like, but that's what I'm talking about. Or another example that I reference a lot, Tyler Oakley on YouTube. 7 something million subscribers or whatever. You know, everyone knows who Tyler Oakley is. But if you go to his channel, I'm typing it up right now. You go to his channel, and his last video, what is it at? 27,000 views 4 days ago.
Oh my God.
And he has 7.22 million subscribers. So his floor is lower than mine.
That's crazy,
he has 7 million subscribers, but he gets less views than me. So that's exactly what I'm talking about in terms of like, because he built his platform up, and same with the designer, they built their platform up on what was trending, but they never took the time to really foster an audience, core following. Because a lot of times the content or the stuff that does that isn't the glamorous, sexy types, you know? Like, and what that really means is like making a video that most people aren't gonna watch, but it's a video that you're passionate about. And when you make a video that you're truly passionate about, your fans resonate with that, and that around, you know? And so I always think that it's important to hold on to that. But like what I learned from watching Afro go from making storm videos for like 6 months and then turn around and make a video that was like him cooking chicken or something, and then get views on that, I was like, oh, so you can prioritize a niche and grow, and then still like refer back to like your core content, so long as you find a balance, like so long as it's like 80-20, right?
Sure.
But you don't want to go 100-0, right? You don't want to go full on Fortnite YouTuber.
Exactly.
And then for like several years, right? And then when Fortnite dies, your whole channel is dead because your whole audience. Because like actually, I've seen this happen. I was talking about this there's this YouTuber who he used to make. I mean, I feel like anybody who knows this guy will know. I'm not gonna name his name. I've probably done it before, but this is YouTuber. His name was well, I'm not gonna name him, but he made Last of Us videos.
Okay.
Right, and like it was a very niche, like part of YouTube. And I really liked his videos because he was the only person who was like making like high level, high production, really well edited Last of Us multiplayer videos.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started making Fortnite videos. And now he's like got he had less than subscribers than me, like by a long shot. Right. Now he has millions of subscribers. And he was on YouTube Rewind, which I know that narrows it down a lot, but just to show how far he came. And but I unsubscribed because he stopped making Last of Us videos. So he lost that fan base. He lost me watching him for Last of Us, right? But that was the core content that he was really passionate about that resonated with me. So when Fortnite dies, he does no longer have that fan base because he's neglected them entirely in favor of what was popular, you know? And so it's like, I would have been fine if he made 6 Fortnite videos a week, but then at least made 1 Last of Us video a week, because then I'm still getting the content that I subscribe to him for once a week, you know? And so that's one of the things that I see like a lot of people do that even in the early stages just seem like common sense to me. But to circle back, since I've been all over the place where you were asking me. No, trust me, I've done like
that's the fun of it, bro. That's good. Yeah, I love tangents. That's what I go on half the time.
In my own streams that I've gotten really good at like redirecting myself back to what I was talking about 30 minutes ago. But in terms of like, because the reason why I said all that was because when you're asking me, okay, well, what would I consider myself on the internet, my role, whatnot, and like I feel like to the average person, they would consider me, oh, he's the guy, the most popular guy who reacts to anime or whatever. But I don't see myself that way because for me, this is in the micro, not in the macro. This is just a step in the process. Like 5 years from now, I don't know if I'll ever stop reacting to anime entirely, but that's not going to be, like I said before, I was the guy who made mods on Naruto games. Right. Now, or not made them, but made videos on them. Now I'm the reaction channel or whatever. But it's like, it's going to keep evolving past that. It's going to keep changing. And so for me, I'm just like, I just see myself, I'm just like a black creator on the internet that just makes content that I enjoy and just and try to be as consistent and genuine and like unapologetic as possible in terms of like, and I feel like I fit in like a specific like echelon within that scale though, because like I would say like Griffey, right? Yeah, Griffey is probably like on the further end of this, a little bit further in the spectrum of me, of like he's even more unapologetic than me. Like but it's to the point where people respect him for it. But I don't take it to that degree. But that's just not my personality. But I'm probably like maybe a tier lower than that in terms of like how like but I like because like for a Griffey, he just trolls so much that he's almost never taken seriously, which is fine. But I like to troll, but also to an extent still be taken seriously, which is, as we talked about with the whole Twitter debacle, is definitely it's hard. It's definitely a sweet spot to try to navigate for sure. And it's like I feel like I'm one of the few people who actually navigates that space. So it's like I don't really have anybody to teach me how to do that. Like I'm less filtered than like someone like say Afro as an example, but I'm more filtered than someone like say Griffey. So I'm like somewhere in the space between those two types of people. Right. Which I mean, there's definitely like I see it, like there's definitely pros and cons for like both sides. Like I see people who have like a higher filter and they definitely have more widespread appeal and like more like a higher percentage of people like they don't deal with as much drama, you know, like there's definitely like I definitely like, I don't know. That's an attractive quality of those types of channels. But at the same time, I have to stay true to myself, and I'm not that kind of person. Like, like for example, like especially since he came back, I see YouTubers like Corey X Kenshin, where like he's a very like family friendly, nice like guy who doesn't really give like strong polarizing opinions or anything like that. He just has a good time, and he censors out his curse words and all these other things. And he's pretty unproblematic for the most part, and everybody loves him. And I mean, I would love to have that same level of like love from like the internet from my fans, but at the same time, I'm not him, and I'm not going to become him because that's not who I am. So I have to somehow chart path for myself that is sort of unique to me. And that's hard because it's hard to pave your own road than to travel down a road that's already been paved for you and just follow behind, it's a lot less stressful, but it's like one of those things that I live or die by. Like I would rather fail in the attempt to be myself than succeed in being fake, I guess, or being
exactly
really fake and following it, because I'm a leader, not a follower at the end of the day. So I'd rather lead a ship into drowning than to ride on a ship piloted by another captain that is better at sailing it than me and get to my destination, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. Yeah. And like so like for all this, right? Because like I feel like this is the common thing with any content creator or YouTuber or streamer or whatever. It's like no one knows that this is the plan, right? Like when they start off, like no one knows, like because you always look at that bigger person, and I mean some people are more confident than others, but most will say like, fuck, like imagine getting that's hard. Like what was the original plan for you, like back then?
Oh man, actually the original plan was just like, it was definitely not like, I mean, and I think that the biggest thing for me that's hard to sort of talk to other people about who are like asking advice, how do I become a YouTuber, this, that, and the other thing. And I feel like honestly it has to start out as a hobby. You can't come at it from the angle of out of it, because when I first started making YouTube, I had no aspirations, or I mean, obviously everyone wants to go big if it's possible.
Oh, for sure.
But that's not my primary motivation. Like I didn't go in and expecting that, I was in college to be a fucking journalist and shit, and possibly like doing like going into like law as well. And I was just trying to like basically do like, I really like doing like speed runs of like stealth like games. Like I like playing Assassin's Creed, and I like playing Uncharted in Metal Gear, Splinter Cell. I like doing like these stealth runs, like perfect stealth runs of video games. So what was going to start out was I was just going to do like just like speed runs of like games.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like just record and just upload them. And I only did like 3 or 4 of them from like Uncharted before I started to just like totally switch gears. But that was the original thing, was just like it was just gonna be a hobby that I did to just like in my free time when I wasn't in school or pursuing whatever else I was doing. So yeah, it started out, it was just gonna be a hobby, and then it eventually evolved into something else. And I was like, oh shit, you know what? Fuck school. I'm gonna just do this.
Exactly. Like that's always like that's kind of like most stories I see a lot of people. It's just like it evolved from one thing to another. And like for you, I noticed like more than a lot of other people, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, you're like a big convention person. Like you're one of those people I see constantly going to conventions and stuff. And it's like, I feel like that also takes like a lot of mental power to always be traveling, always be interacting and all that stuff. Like what's your like, why do you like convention scene so much?
Oh, well, so I mean, I definitely like it to an extent, but one of the main reasons why I want to do that wasn't just by how much I enjoyed it, but by how like little representation I saw for it.
Really?
Like, I mean, I've still yet to edit a lot of it, and it's still like a learning process for me, because once again, no one does this. I do a lot of things that nobody else does, and it's sort of like sometimes it hits, sometimes it misses, and it's just about trying to figure out how to make those work, especially within the context of my platform. But nobody vlogs cons. No one does it, at least not one with like the reach that I have. The closest degree that I've seen is maybe someone like D Pity. I don't know if you know who that is.
No idea.
Okay, well he like basically makes these like skits, these little he wears like a Deadpool costume, and then he runs around and does like a bunch of bits and stuff at like essentially every con. But I wanted to have like not like a less like a more, and it's hard because like the thing is like about any type of content that I make, I don't try to make it like manufactured. I try to make it as natural as possible. But the problem with making something as natural as possible is that you have to record a lot and then take like 10% of it. So with cons, it's kind of hard because eventually after you've been to a few, after you've been to a few, then it's like you've kind of seen everything. So then what came down is like I had to really dig in to like find these different nooks and crannies and document those, and then also I had to in some cases create some stuff within that community myself. Like one thing that is such a small category of thing was at a lot of these another problem with this is that like most people who are into anime are pretty introverted, right? They don't socialize that much.
No, yeah.
So a lot of them, you know, they like it's enough to even go to a con or anything like that, and then it's an even extra step to go to those things and then even like socialize and stuff. And so there's like this very narrow, small niche of people who go to these anime conventions and then go to the after parties, right?
Right.
And so like like you have me, I'm going around at these after parties with all these extroverted weebs, and I'm my big ass camera. Well, actually, sometimes I have a smaller camera because sometimes having a big giant camera and going
it's intimidating.
Which I mean, I've definitely done. And yeah, man, I'm actually mad because I lost some of the footage for some of my vlogs.
Oh shit!
Because I might have accidentally formatted the SD card or something because like I hold on to so much of it for so long,
right?
Because I still have like months of vlogs on my computer now that I've yet to make into videos. So eventually you'll see a lot of this stuff. In fact, even me talking about it, it's just like, damn, I need to edit a lot of this stuff. But but like so yeah, I'll go in these and vlog these. It's like these things that like people are like, and it's funny because and the way that I know that they're misrepresented is that people are like, where are you? Where there's people clubbing and dancing and they're playing anime openings in the background. Like it's like yes, these things exist. And it's funny because people will be like, Heavenly, how do you find these people? I mean, mainly they obviously are more interested in the girls, but like, I mean, it's girls and guys. How do you find these people who are weebs, but are also like they do normal people shit? It's just like, because I put myself in those scenarios. I go to those things, you know? It's like people want to get the result and not do the work. It's like, well, to find extra people who are extroverted but are also into introverted activities, you have to you have to go to things where those people would go to. You have to expose yourself to that, you know? And also what that has allowed me to do, and it's funny because to a lot of people, like that's why I say maybe when I publish these vlogs, there's going to be like sort of like some context because I haven't really published any of them. So a lot of people are like, oh, Heavenly just knows all these cosplayers.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Like everyone says, you know every cosplayer in humanity.
I mean, I kind of do, but the thing is, it's not. Well, like I think a lot of people just think, oh, I just interact with, I just simp for them all on Twitter. And they follow me back. That's why they all know me. No, I have actually met most of them in person because I've gone to these cons and these after parties and all these things, and I've gone to so many of them. And there's, like I said, so few people that are within that community. So everybody gets to know each other very quickly. It's actually a very small knit circle. And so like, and like within that community, most of them are just cosplayers and like maybe like a few photographers. But like honestly, there's probably like less than 5 main cosplay photographers, like the big ones, right? And then the rest, there's like a few that are like smaller that do really good pictures, but they're not like really like they don't really do like that much, but like you might see here and there. And then there's me, the YouTuber. So like it's just like it's just one of those things where I'm really the only person in that community that does what I do. And it's also funny because out of all of the photographers and cosplayers or whatever, I have the biggest audience out of all of them. So when so it's kind of like so it's sort of like word spreads quickly of like this big YouTuber going to all the cons and vlogging them all and getting a bunch of views. And then so people are like, well, what's this all about? And so like, and sure, the cosplayers are like, okay, fine. Like here's a person who like I can be in their vlogs and people will see my shit or whatever, see my things and everything like that. But I mean, but also it's just one of those things to where also I'm like a bit ambiverted, like I'm extroverted and introverted, but like I'm like, because another thing too is a lot of people within these communities are kind of weird. They're kind of
sure, yeah, I get that.
So I'm kind of like literally all I had to do was be normal and show up to this stuff, and that sort of just
cool. I mean, like,
you know,
you think about like even like someone like me, like I didn't know you at EVE. I wish I did now. But like I didn't know, like I was a huge fan of Roger. So when he was like, "Oh, come say hi at the EVO finals," and I said hi, I thought he was gonna be like kind of peace out, but he was like, "No, come watch," and I was chill, and we all hung out. Yeah. And like now we know I do Japan time with him all the time. I did an interview. It's like now we're just bros. It's like it really, that was like a big eye opener for me because like I'm in that category with you of like, well, I don't know if you're like, when I don't know someone, I'm not comfortable with someone, I'm on my phone. Like I will not get off my phone. I'll be on my phone the whole time. But if we're into the same thing and we could just talk or whatever, I will talk and annoy you and like be your bro. Like we'll be homies. Like I'll be Fidel with you. Like that's why with you, like I don't mind shooting shit and talking on all that stuff because it's like yeah, I think that's the biggest step people need to overcome. It's like, I mean, how do all these people make connections? It's they end up talking to them without feeling like, sometimes you have to just be a fan and like say hi, hang out a bit and peace out, but sometimes you can form like really good friendships.
Yeah, like most of, like, this is funny, it's like most of my closest friends now are like cosplay girls or something.
Yeah.
And it's like people are like, and like it's and I mean it's funny. I mean I would like to take as much credit of just like, oh yeah, Heavenly's just such a playboy, and he just meets all these girls. And I mean, I'm not saying that that's not a part of it or anything, but like at the same time, the biggest thing is just like, well, how many other people are actually going to the things that these people are going to be at? Like honestly, it's just like I really all that it is at the end of the day. Is that I have no competition. I'm just like,
yeah, there you go.
I'm the only one there. So it's just like, it's easy to do. And like, it's funny because like, once again, like I said, especially when it comes to like guys, like of course, all the girls and most girls aren't like, it's just wow. It's in fact, actually, I've been talking to a lot of my friends about this of like, you know, like the cosplay scene, like in terms of making a living off of it, is kind of dying off. And so a lot of them are trying to become like, like
content creators.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Like, so a lot of them are trying to become like YouTubers and stuff. But like, the thing is that people like, it's like almost like people want to look at girls and they want to hear what guys have to say.
Right.
And so girls and YouTuber isn't like a common correlation.
Right.
Which is, that's where I come into play, because I'm just like, okay, well, if you want to do that, I'm the one who knows the steps to take that route or whatnot. But so like most of the girls within like that anime community are like cosplayers and whatnot. And then there's just like, then there's in terms of guys, there's the YouTubers, which is basically just me. Like all the other anime YouTubers are introverted; they don't go outside.
Right.
And then there's the creepy photographers outside of maybe 3 or 4, and they're friends with the girls. And then there's the weird just the fans, the dudes who are just like, I don't know, they're just dudes who are like just fiending after these people and showing up for things and stuff like that. And everything, you know. And so like so like I think that's just all that it is that like I'm just a very minority group in that, like I just became a part of the community. That's all I really did.
I mean, I feel like a big factor of it was like that I always recommend to people, and people have always, it's like I always like, not exactly, but it's like I treat my girlfriends like I treat my dude. Like I call girls dude too. Like I'll call on my homies, you're my dude. It's like, I think it's because like, and I think that's like a lot of how, like if you just treat him like a bro, like a buddy too, and don't come off like, it's like, it doesn't come off as like, oh, this guy's clearly talking to me like he's trying to talk to a girl and trying to impress him. Like, I feel like it goes along with just talking.
Let me implore some advice onto anyone listening to this. I don't even know, but just like, it's so stupid. It's like this like paradox of like, especially this didn't used to be a problem, but it sort of became an issue recently of like, guys, you don't need to hit every girl that you know. Okay, you can. You're allowed. You're not being a simp. You're allowed to be friends with girls.
Exactly.
Here's the thing, girls have girlfriends, okay? And the only way you're gonna meet more is by hanging out with them. So it's just like, if you're only hitting 10% and you're friends with 100, then you're hitting 10, you know?
Exactly.
You're friends with 50, it's like so yeah, so it's just like, you need to, in order to you're not gonna get it from the other direction. It's like almost like in order to I'm so big on scenarios, on examples. I always try to I'm trying to think of a good one, but I really can't. But it's like one of those things to where it's like you're not going to be able to okay, we'll see if this example hit this.
Go for it. Go try it out.
Realize my head. You can't eat from the fruit of the Garden of Eden without being invited in first, right? You gotta live in the garden for a bit, and make everybody comfortable with you'd be like, all right, yeah, all right, okay, here's this tree with the fruit. Let's eat from this. You're not gonna just storm in, right, and be like, oh, and they're like, who the fuck are you? Get out of our garden, you know? Like, you have to become a member of the garden to eat the fruit. You can't just walk into the fruit, you know, and walk into the garden and shit. So it's just like, oh, I only eat from the fruit. I'm not gonna live in the garden. That's gay. Like, okay, you say so. Like, meanwhile, I'm over here eating all the fruit.
Exactly,
you know,
bro. Instead of just asking why you're not in the party, try to think about why you're not in the party.
That's why I don't mind everybody sitting here and they can say whatever they want about me or say anything they want to me. It's like, meanwhile, it's like, okay,
you're in there.
I'm eating the fruit. So it's like
exactly. Yeah. I mean, the only ones saying it are like the ones that like want it in some way, right? Like they're like, "Fuck, man, that's just like, I want that shit." But yeah, no, it's like,
it's just
yeah.
I'm thinking about it's just like, but it's like at the same time, it's like, don't like go out looking for
that shit.
Exactly,
that's creepy.
I think the same thing about with like, yeah, that's another thing too. Is that like if you're walking around looking thirsty and shit, and that, but like I say the same thing. It's the same philosophy with YouTube, right? It's like, in order to become a big YouTuber, you have to not try to be a big YouTuber, right? It's like you have to have a more intrinsic reason for doing it, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like, so like for me, it's just like I'm genuinely friends with everybody. Like, there's no ulterior motives. And every once in a while, I mean, now it's almost never really a case. I had a few instances this past year, but I literally ironed that really quickly for this reason alone, in the sense that you know, especially when it comes to guys, you know, people are always going to be like, oh, what's your ulterior motive for trying to be my friend? Like, but the thing is that like I'm genuine friends with so many people that it becomes a domino effect to where they vouch for me, and then I'd be able to become closer friends with everybody else too. Because at first, to everybody, like especially a lot of like girls, and it's understandably why, because now I see, you know, what they experience from day to day is that they're aware of any guy that they meet. And within that community, within that field, it's like I said, once again, this Garden of Eden metaphor is starting to come into play a lot more now. More as I talk about it, is that like, who the fuck is this thirsty guy? You know, is he flirting with me? It's just like, maybe I'm just trying to be a friend, but like most guys are really just trying to flirt with them. So they're just like, no. So it's just like, no, I'm just genuinely just trying to be friends with all you guys, like genuinely trying to have a connection. And then what happens is that like, then someone else will be like, who's this guy who's like, it's funny because especially this past year, and this is a factor of me going a lot of these runs. Who's this guy who's always hanging around everybody, like, and somebody's wary of it. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Who's this thirsty fucking clout chasing dude or whatever? I don't know, whatever the initial conclusion they come to, and then after I'm like, and then the thing is that if like people can tell the difference, they won't genuinely like hang out with you if they know like you're not just like a genuine person or whatnot. But then when they see, like, it's like when enough people see me in enough intimate situations to where they're like, wait a second, oh, this is like, he's like a legitimate friend of everybody. He's not just some dude that's always showing up, you know. Then other people start to like trust me more too, and then I make even more friends, and it's just sort of like I have a certain established level of credibility, you know. Like I have a resume, like, so then it becomes a lot easier to become more friends with more people in the community, because now that I'm at a point where I'm friends with most of those people. So it's like so now it's like someone meets me and I'm already close friends with 10 people that they're friends with. So it's not like I'm just some random person
you're the
that they don't know. Like this untested, like it's like, oh, well, they don't know what I'm about. It's like I
mean, everything's a connection, right? It's like, I know this guy. Oh, he's cool. He could come. Oh, he's cool. He could do this. You know, like it's a flow.
Yeah, like now, and actually nowadays, most of the times, most of the people that I know, I don't even meet them at cons for the first time. Usually, I'll meet them in like normal scenarios, like just hanging out. You know,
right?
Just like we like go out to eat with some of my friends, and like, oh yeah, this so and so is coming with us, and then it's like, oh okay, oh you do this, you know, and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's great.
But it's interesting because like it's one of those scenarios I found. I find it funny, and even like my friends, like they know and they play along with it. Like they like that. Like they think that it's like I have some magical power.
For sure. Give me your strength.
And then like my friends are like, yeah, Anthony's got his harem of bitches, and you know, like it's like, yeah, all right.
You're vibing, and like I mean, even like since you said that, like with like going to these places and doing connections and all that shit, like how has this year been a challenge for you, obviously, with like what's going on around and stuff, or is it just more an annoyance?
Oh, like the quarantine?
Yeah,
stuff?
the quarantine. It's like, has that been like an like has obviously you were planning on going to events that were canceled. It's like, has that been something that's like affecting shit, or is that like more annoying to you?
I mean, there's like pros and cons to it. Because so one of the downsides for me traveling so much this past year is that like my actual channel hasn't really been growing as much because I haven't been at home making content. And so this quarantine has sort of forced me to like have to like stay indoors and build that up. You know, so I've been streaming more, uploading more. The quarantine is a large factor of that. And it's funny because a lot of people, they haven't seen, I took a step back to like, because I'm also, another thing too is I'm not trying to just be a YouTuber. I'm trying to extend like beyond and do so much. YouTube is only a component of it.
What you want to
do?
do?
People who, well, I'm trying to I want to build up that like scene of like stuff that happens outside of the internet within this community and stuff. And I also want to eventually create a platform for people. I mean, people like you, honestly, to like who or within the community and make good content and have like a lot of great ideas and stuff that like have sort of a space where they can sort of that they can be like get access to like large amounts of people that resonate with that, because typically the traditional route to like growing your platform is like it's almost impossible to do, and it's an unreasonable grind. And I feel like I want to be the equivalent of like, you know, how there's like been like someone who's like really good at Fortnite, and then like FaZe like signs them on and puts them on there and puts them on, and then suddenly these people like Tfue get all these views and subscribers overnight, but they always had that talent, you know, they just needed people to see it, right? And so I want it almost like within like a more broader, but then also more like within the anime, gaming, weeb space, or whatever you would like to categorize it. I want to provide that same space for people and give them access to that same amount of people. But of course, I need to build that platform of myself and then give other people access to it. But I also want to do that in multiple different ways. Like I don't want to just do that through like the internet, but also in person, like in real life scenarios. Like I want to like host I've done a couple this past year, host after parties for cons and stuff and all these other things. And but for some people who follow me on YouTube, to them, I'm just a YouTuber. So if I'm not growing that up, then it's just like, wow, you fell off. And it's just like, all right, well, I mean, I haven't been uploading. I haven't been like, I've been like there's more to my life than just the internet. And but for some people, that's all that they see. So they use that as a way of measuring my progress in life or whatnot. You know, like I've also taken like time off, like, and even now it's like a reduced quantity of making content because to make myself overall healthy. Like I've been getting like this past year like really into like my exercise and my diet and stuff. Yeah, I noticed. And the thing with that is that takes up that's literally another full-time job on top of everything I already do. That literally takes up your entire life. Like right now during this entire conversation, I've been drinking this fucking protein shake that I made with like 2,000 calories in it. Because I try to get like I have such a fast metabolism. I try to get like 5,000 a day.
God, lucky you, bro. I got that horrible metabolism. I used to, when I was super fat, like, bro, I eat one thing, I'm done. That's every day I'm eating my chicken salad and stuff.
I wish, bro. I don't even like eating is just sustenance to me, bro. I don't even care. Like, can I just take a bite out of a cracker and be good for the day? I'm fine. Like I only do this because otherwise if I don't eat if I don't eat for a family of 5 every day, I lose weight. Like
right. Oh my God.
So I sort of have to, but really it's like, but people don't see that and I don't really document it that much. So it's like, I have like a whole another full-time job on top of the full-time job I have that they're literally happening simultaneously. But to other people, it's like, I'm just slacking off and like, I'm just like not putting out as much as I used to.
Yeah, people think you're just sitting down when you're not making content, when in reality you have other stuff to do.
Yeah, it's like when I'm not uploading or streaming, I'm just jerking off for the other 12 hours. I don't know. But like, no, I'm going to the gym. I'm fucking cooking, meal prepping, and eating. Just honestly, just eating itself takes up time. Yeah. And then I'm like trying to just do all this shit around the house and stuff too. There's just so much. Yeah. But yeah.
Shit. So yeah, for the most part, you've been good with all that. And like, is your gym open? My gym's still not open.
No. I've been going to my I have had a trainer at the gym. Okay. I've just been going. So
Dang, shit.
and then
Well,
I
damn.
train there. He got his Bowflex machines and shit.
Okay, he's got all the stuff there.
Yeah, but I haven't stopped working out though, which
Lucky
thank
you.
God, because like it's like a component of my life now.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like, and even if I didn't get like that, I would just be doing calisthenics. I wouldn't just be doing nothing. Like, there's so many videos I've seen of like people being like at home workouts or like go to the park or something. But I think some gyms have open, not very many. Like, yeah, you might have to go out of the way to find one or something. But, I was trying to think of what I was going to say of like, so by doing that though, I'm almost like, man, not to like defeat the purpose of going to the gym with a trainer or whatnot, but I'm almost like, man, he's doing all this in the house. Let me get this shit for myself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Instead of having to like, oh, I gotta get out of bed, drive to the gym. Like I like now I'm seeing how many I'm getting some crazy ass workouts on this one machine, and I'm just like low key like, let me just learn all these workouts on this machine. What the fuck I need to go to a gym for?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like that's like a lot of the like that's in general like. Not just for, like in anything in life, like a lot of things you realize that you want to do. It's like you realize you can do that on your own, and not only do you save money, but you just save yourself like you save yourself having to not necessarily deal with someone, but like having like you make everything on your schedule and you can appropriate it your way.
Yeah, literally my biggest trial this past year has been like trying to optimize my life as much as possible, optimize my time, how I use that time. And just like I try to work smarter, not harder, because like what I've learned is that you can only work a certain level of like a certain level of intensity for so long, but like you're limited, your body and mind are limited in the amount of energy that they can use until it needs to take a break to recharge. So like instead of me trying to just like go like all out and all the time, it's like, how about I just try to find a way to put in the same amount of effort, but rather it's just being more smartly allocated. So that I'm not like overworking myself. Like I don't want to just be really successful and really consistent, but I also want to be comfortable while doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I try to make it as comfortable as possible. Like even like with working out, like no matter how intense the workout gets, I sort of from working out enough times have become content or comfortable. Like I have more mental endurance. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
And so I'm willing to push myself. And it doesn't take so much mental energy to bring myself to that level. It's like, honestly, the biggest, I think, muscle to like to train up that I think is like not really looked at in the same way is your brain, like it's like, if anything, with repetition, if you put your brain under enough stress, that stress becomes less stressful. Yeah. And then you're capable of doing a lot more. Honestly, I feel like a lot of my friends who are so depressed and have anxiety all the time, like maybe you should just work out. I honestly think working out is like it's like trains your brain to just be stronger, like just give you some more mental endurance. Yeah, like the mental. Yeah, what are you saying?
Like I was saying, it's like even like I've never been depressed or anything, but it's like I mean now it's stopped and now I've just been walking. I need to start doing more homework. It's like I was going to the gym consistently 2 years and I loved it. Like it was so fun. Like it was just like to me that was like my morning 2 hours. Like I would walk to the gym. It was a 15-20 minute walk. That was like my little cardio. I would do my workout, leave, have my protein shake, go home, make myself a meal. It's like to me that like felt so nice and so good. And it's like
working out and dieting is like it's just like a lifestyle, and it's just a part of my life. I don't even think of it as like a means to an end. It's just how I live my life.
Exactly. That's like I every day, literally every day. I'm eating grilled chicken, some sweet potatoes, some broccoli and stuff. And a lot of people tell me, "Oh, you're dieting." I'm like, "Nah, that's just like how I live now."
Exactly. You know what? That's like just you know the theme that I've learned of this entire conversation is just like you need to make your you need to stop chasing goals and live and like I don't know like embrace the journey and don't fixate on the destination. Like just make it your lifestyle. Because the thing is that when you're on a journey, you're constantly chasing the destination. That's gonna wear on you. Yeah. But if you stop even looking like don't like even like picture it that way and just like enjoy the process of everything, the process of growing your career, growing your body, your mind, your life, just living your life. Like stop chasing a goal and just enjoy your life. Some people are constantly trying to like be miserable so that they can be happy later on. Just be happy all the time.
Exactly,
you know?
bro. Like it's like I always like it's not even to come off insensitive at all, but like I've literally like I'm someone who people are always like, how are you always so happy and in a good mood? And never, it's like even like when I've lost my account and stuff, and or like people have been bitches and everything, and I'm always so chill because I always tell people I'm like, I just look at the bright side, and I know tomorrow's gonna be better, and I just know I know good people. I know I'm in a good. It's like I've always been. Obviously, I'm in like a lucky position. I've been very fortunate in my life. Like I live a good, nice life. People go through way worse shit, but it's like I really do think if you just look at. Like, I think if you just look at the good side and try to find good in, like, the world and find the good... Like, if you dig yourself in the shitty places, then you're gonna be in a shitty mood, right? But if you're, like, trying to do things that are positive, be around people that are positive, do things that you like... It's like, me when I do now... Ever since, especially this quarantine, a good way, I've been streaming, like, 6 times a week, like, 2 to 3 hour blocks at night. And to me, I have a blast doing that. Because, like, most of the time... It's like it's not about the game. It's about people just watching me talking about whatever. We even like browsed through Twitter today. It's like a shit show, and that's the fun of it. And it's like I'm always here just to have fun. Like whether it's like I always say that to Twitter. It's like, bro, at the end of the day, I'm not here to argue or I'm here to have a good time. That's all I'm here for. Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, so like that's like the thing too. And like the funny thing is that I almost feel like you need to get. I mean, and even for me, sometimes there's like. And people sometimes ask me, "Oh, are you okay?" Sometimes I'd sound really edgy on Twitter, but it's like I'm fine, honestly. But like one of the things that I've like learned is like you need to acquire a certain amount of like I think material. Well, I don't think everybody. I think it depends per person. It's like after acquiring a certain amount of material like goals in life, I realized how little value that they actually held, and in the sense that was just like. Then it was like I had to go from seeking happiness with like externally and started like internally, like instead of without, like seeking within. It's like people are constantly chasing all of these material things in life to make themselves happy. When you find that the like as cliche or corny or however you like to say it sounds, is like the answer was within you all along. You know,
exactly.
Like really, it's just like. And even honestly, it's like I'm still a human at the end of the day, and I need to remind myself of this. But like, it's just one of those things where it's like true happiness and contentment is like just being just like it's like having just like being mentally and spiritually sound within yourself.
Yeah.
And nothing that can happen in like your life can change that. But it's one of those things to where you can't necessarily. I mean, you can hear about it all day, but it's like you won't actually experience it until you get there on your own because like. I try to tell people this is how I live my life and this is how they should live their life, but they're just like, oh, but life is hard. It's not that easy, Anthony. I'm like, all right. I mean, like, but honestly, it kind of is that easy. It's like the thing is that the hard part is getting yourself to just let go and just allow yourself, just submit to the, submit to the like, just stop. It's one of those things. I watched this video the other day and it said, stop making life a battle and make it a dance. Stop trying to fight against everything and try to win and make everything submit. Stop trying to defeat all your obstacles in life and rather come to live in harmony with it. And if you want to make an anime reference, there's actually, you know what? Some people like, and once again, people, I sound like a broken record when I say this. People who know me know that I have a lot deeper thought. Like my thought process is a lot like less shallow than I think some people may think. Who think, oh, big man with sword slice thing. But like, no. When I'm watching anime, I'm picking up on all of the like subtle messaging put in it, right? Sure. That I think a lot more people overlook and stuff. And I just think about, have you watched all of Bleach, the anime?
No, I've not.
Okay, well then this example would just totally go over your head. Yeah. But Ichigo, to defeat Aizen, spoilers, needs to master his Zanpakuto. And in order to do that, he has to battle his Zanpakuto in like this alternate dimension. But he can't beat it. His Zanpakuto is stronger than him. And so what he ends up doing to master his Zanpakuto wasn't by beating his Zanpakuto, but by allowing his Zanpakuto to defeat him. So he drops his sword and lets the Zanpakuto stab him. And now this is an alternate dimension, so he's not actually getting stabbed. Right. It's just within this trial in his mind. And he's trying to figure out how to succeed in this trial. And by succeeding, he had to like basically let go, stop fighting and receive his Zanpakuto, whatever. And then when he did that, he finally mastered it, and then he came out and rocked eyes and shit. So
exactly.
you know,
yeah. I mean, there's
so
it's like something about like the human mind that it's like it only like a lot of times like you'll see the negative thing and that's what you want to latch to because it's an annoyance. It's not something good. Like it's something like dark that the brain doesn't like, but it wants to draw near, right? Whereas I think more people need to instead look at the good thing and emphasize that and live with that instead of following that darkness that like is so easy to follow just because it's always tempting or it's easy to do, right? It's a whole thing. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's not an easy thing for a lot of people, especially like really older people or like even younger people like going through high school or whatever. But it's such like it's definitely something that I think at a young age, like I find it really sad when I see so many people online just being like, man, everything sucks or life sucks or this sucks, and I'm like, bro, just you're like, especially younger ones, I'm like, you're a young dude, you're gonna be fine. Like things have it's not even a joke when we really say things for the most part have a dumb way of working out, right?
Oh,
like that's kind of the wave of life in general, you know.
And it's kind of like, it's funny because some people will be like, oh, well, you know, like how we say, oh, you could argue we're fortunate people. Some people like they don't have as many opportunities and everything like that, and that's 100% true. The thing is that the people who say that aren't one of those people. Like, yes, that is the case for some people, but chances are your life is not that unfortunate or miserable. You probably have just as much opportunity and access as we do.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, no, I wouldn't implore this philosophy on some starving African child. They need to fucking be themselves, and that life can be shitty sometimes. The irony about that is those people are a lot of times more happy. The people who are most miserable are the people who have the most opportunity and access in life.
Yeah.
And what I tell those people is that you have no excuse. You literally have 101 chances to take advantage of to overcome your situation. And so it's just like make the best of that. Like literally, if you like, especially like if you live in like if you live in a country with a thriving economy and you have a roof over your head and you can and food in your belly, like if you have access to the basic needs to live as a human being, you know, like you're already like way ahead of the game. Like, you know, you already are like you are primed to like most people hold them back. It has nothing to do with anything in the real world. It's honestly, it's their mentality. It's like they're the thing that holds them back. Because even for me, and all of the things that I've accomplished in life, it's almost like I'm aware of this. I'm self-aware of this, and if anything, that's honestly more stressful. But it helps that I at least know what battle I need to fight. Is that any obstacle that faces me is like mental for me. Like I don't feel like there's actual physical obstacles in my life. I feel like they're all intrinsically mental. And so really what it's come down to is me just trying to master my own mind. Because once I've done that, then there's literally nothing on this planet that's going to stop me, at least in my opinion. So, you know, so for a lot of people where they think like, oh, you know, most people aren't going to be this successful. It has nothing to do with it. Like that has nothing to do with that. Oh, because of the odds or the probability of them doing this because of the world they live in or the situation they're in. Most people's cases, it's like if you have the right mindset, you can literally, the door is literally unlocked. You can literally open it and walk through it. So don't say this, oh, this door is locked for me because I was just born in a world where this door's locked. Like the door's open. It might be further away than most people. Some people have to walk a little further to get to it, but it is there. It is right there. You just need to adopt the mentality to walk towards it and open it up. You know, some people don't even think that they can, and they don't even put in the attempt. You know, I always tell people, what's to say that your goal is unrealistic? Who told you that? Who proved that it was unrealistic by attempting and failing? You know, like.
It's crazy.
I think that people who believe in unrealistic goals are people who don't have what it takes to succeed, I think.
There you go. That's a good one.
You want to be fucking president, Fidel? Be fucking
Hell
president.
yeah, dude. Now, the last two things I'm gonna ask here. So first of all, you get to ask me a question. What do you want to ask me?
I'm gonna ask you, what is your end game? Where do you see yourself going? How are you? What is final form Fidel looking like?
Final form Fidel. I want to be everywhere, spreading joy, some positivity, being hype, doing my hype thing, always getting people excited for the shit I care about, and making sure that everyone's enjoying what they love. I want to be on top of the stream game. I want to be on top of, I want to go to cons. I want to make speeches. I want to fucking hang out with the homies. I just want to be the guy. I want to be the hype dude. I want to live up to that name. I want to like actually become like the master of hype. I want it like, I want to do like when there's a conference or a Nintendo Direct or something, I want to have like an audience outside watching that with me. I want to do everything with the homies, everybody.
That's beautiful. We're doing that shit. That's happening.
We're doing this shit.
It's already
exactly
already like aspiration. Easy. That's it. Oh, you doing that shit, bro?
Doing it.
That's happening. Like
we're gonna get there. And
I promise you that.
Yeah.
Get there or die trying.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll move together.
No hesitation there.
And last thing.
On tour.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. We'll go on tour. Let's do it, man. I'm down. The Fidel and Heavenly tour. It's crazy. And
I'm putting it on my calendar.
Let's go. When the world gets up, we'll get back right away.
Right.
And last thing, is there someone you would want to like recommend, or would you'd want to recommend to be interviewed, like that has a good story that should be explored out here?
Interesting. Who would I recommend? Honestly, probably Afro, since I talked about him to such extent. You know, yeah, I think that he has a wide perspective. Like, I feel like he's one of the people I relate to the most in terms of like, you've already talked to Roger. Like, Afro and Roger are two people I feel like have gone on similar journeys of me and slightly different. Oh, and one other person I think as well would be an interesting person that I feel like to talk to, that I feel like has gone on a similar journey, is Nux Taku.
Nux, okay. Yeah,
those are my two recommendations.
All right.
Absolutely.
Hook me with that Afro contact, and I'll get him on. I bet you. All right, man. Anyways, bro, I will let you go. This is a really fun talk, and we should just talk more in general, just chilling.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we're gonna do a bunch of future. I'm excited about it.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. All right, well, tell people where they can find you if they want to find you.
Google. You can find me. You're smart. Figure it out. You
can figure it out. Well, that's it. That's all. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next week with anyone. We'll figure out who it is. All right, peace out.
All right.